is Andi Crolla for Boxing Social. I'm now joined by Eddie Hearn. Eddie is with Daniel, Usyk-Bellew, the official press conference announcement for the fight. How excited are you now that you've been officially announced?
Very excited. Every time they come head to head, it just gives me a little bit of goosebumps, you know, shiver down the spine, because it's not often you see an undisputed champion in the UK boxing. Obviously Usyk is, and this is the first ever 4-belt undisputed fight in British boxing history. So I'm so pleased Tony gets the opportunity to try and make it count, to try and go down as a pound for pound great. It's a very, very tough fight, but he's confident, he believes he can do it, and I'll tell you, November 10 for me is 2018 fight of the year.
He's been now made an underdog in past fights with Hay, even against McCarthy, who's seen as the favourite. How do you think Tony thrives on this underdog status?
Well, I think after the Hay fight, you know, it was, if he would have walked away from the sport, I think he would have been more than justified. But I think this has always been niggling in his head since he won the world title at cruiserweight, to try and unify. And when it became an undisputed fight, like he said, when Usyk called him out after the series, it was on. You know, it was on. And we sat down with K2, who are great guys, and we just had, you know, K2 turned around to me and said, look, we want to beat Bellew, go up to heavyweight, fight Dillian Whyte, Chisora, Jarrell Miller, and then fight AJ. And I'm like, well, I can deliver all those for you if you keep winning. So it's tough for me, and I had to tell him that Bellew is my guy and I want him to win this fight. But I'm just so happy to get it on. You know, this is a historic fight, and I'm so proud of what Tony Bellew's become, because he's gone from sort of loudmouth scouser who at 175 pounds had absolutely nothing in the tank. I mean, you got to understand, he's currently about 15 stone 3. He's got to make 14 stone 4. He was weighing 12 stone 7 when he boxed with Donnie Stevenson and those guys. That's 3 stone nearly lighter than what he is now, and he looks fit now. 3 stone lighter. So he's going to be in great shape. He's punching very, very hard. His confidence is full, but he is fighting pound for pound one of the best fighters in the world.
Talk to me tactically. Usyk, everybody knows about his movement and his punch output. Is Tony just going in there hoping that he gets that opportunity for one punch that he can land?
It's not really one punch, you know, because I think he has a lot better chance than that. But you've got to think technically, superiority is going to lie with Usyk. Yeah, Tony is a massively underrated boxer, but Usyk is exceptional. So don't be surprised to see Usyk ahead in this fight. But what Tony will look for is that time to trade, and he will trade, and they will engage. And he believes he has the power to put the lights out. So do I. I really think Bellew is one of the underrated punchers. You speak to people who grew up with him, he's such a big puncher, and he punches at the right time, and that's the key in this fight. You know, it's not about punching the gloves or when he's moving back, it's the right time to engage. And look, it's a big ask, but very, very confident he can do it.
If you had to put a percentage on what you believe Tony's chances are against Usyk, what would you say?
I think on paper 70-30, in reality 60-40. I think it's hard to call it a 50-50 fight because Usyk is that good, but I feel it's very close to a 50-50 fight. I do, you know, and again, I expect Tony to be outskilled, but I just, you know, if it gets down and dirty and they engage and the atmosphere, it's going to be wild in that arena on November 10th, wild. So we'll see, and this is, you know, this is like the final roll of the dice for Tony Bellew. This is it, and this is a chance to go down as a pound for pound great.
We had an exclusive with Usyk on the night of AJ on Saturday, and he said that he loved the atmosphere of it. Is it maybe a little bit of a regret, especially if this sells out quickly, that you wasn't able to get into a stadium?
Maybe, yeah. I mean, the way the tickets have gone, we could have certainly done 40,000-50,000 for this. But, you know, at that time of year, you're limited to the Millennium Stadium, which is nearly 80,000. So it's a tough one. You know, sometimes you feel like it's not a trade fight, but Usyk isn't that well known to the public here. But the way the boxing audience has exploded, he is a star here. And as this fight build-up gets closer and people get to see him, they see his personality there today, they will like him, and you know, he's very, very sellable, and this is going to do massive numbers.
Now we saw when the fight was announced, Andre Ward called out either the winner of them,
Did he? Okay.
So would that be something that you think?
Not for Tony, no. Tony's done after this fight. I wouldn't let him fight again after this fight, because what's the point? You know, he has more than enough money, and he already has legacy. You know, he's a British, Commonwealth, European, world champion. What more can you do? Well, you can be the undisputed champion, and he has a chance on November 10 to do that.
obviously with Usyk's case, he's looking at a heavyweight.
Yeah.
So Joshua, what are your thoughts in terms of what his progression through the heavyweight ranks would
Well, I
be?
think he'd want to go to heavyweight and have one fight, and then move on and fight Joshua. You know, he has to beat Bellew, and I wouldn't say he's overlooking Bellew. They believe they'll beat him, but I think he knows enough about the game to know this is going to be a very tough fight.
Do you believe that Bellew's brought him maybe so in that situation then, that he's saying that he believes he's looking past him and he's just looking towards that AJ fight?
I think he's definitely looking towards that, but he's because he believes in himself, but he does also know this won't be easy.
We've had a few days as well, a couple of days even since Joshua's performance. What have you seen since then? What have you looked back on?
Just a brilliant fight. You know, I watched it back. I'm still baffled to see people who had Povetkin winning the fight, like few people, but I had it 4-2 to AJ. I thought Povetkin was brilliant. You know, I thought the first couple of rounds were a little bit rough for AJ. I thought he started slow, but the way he adapted, you know, he busted up the body, he waited for that right hand, he set it up beautifully, and he's one of the best finishers in the sport. And I'm so proud of the way he's developing as a fighter, because he's getting better and better, and his resume is incredible. Now, I know I keep saying it's a bit boring, but TKO Povetkin, TKO Klitschko, unanimous decision for a unification with Parker, TKO Dillian Whyte, you know, KO Dominic Brazil, TKO Carlos Takam. Like, he's had 22 fights. So, you know, people on Saturday saw what Anthony Joshua is all about. There are still vulnerabilities because he's still learning. But that is why 80,000 people show up. That is why every pay-per-view is 1 million buys plus, and that is why he's the biggest star in the sport.
Did Povetkin bring more into the fight than what you probably
No, because if in all my interviews, I said, this guy is one of the best heavyweights in the world. You don't just steamroll through those guys, you know? They're quality fighters. They're going to give you problems. I hope Povetkin comes back. I'd love to work with him because I'd love to see him in with Parker and Chisora and Dillian, because I'll tell you what, it's going to be hard for heavyweights to beat Povetkin. He's a real talent.
Whyte was obviously a name which was mentioned for Povetkin before the AJ fight was announced. Is that something that you
No, I think the focus for Dillian is to fight AJ, and if not, Derek Chisora, so we'll see where that goes.
AJ put a poll out on Twitter and Dillian was actually the least.
Yeah, well, a tough one out of those three, but
exactly.
yeah.
Does that maybe make it a bit of a void contest to try to make, knowing that the fans just want to see Wilder or Fury?
If those fights can't be made, you know, I mean, Fury will have a rematch clause, so we can't think about him for now. But Wilder is a fight we want to make for April 13th, so that's our priority. And if we can't get Wilder, it will be Dillian Whyte. You know, I think he got 7 or 8%. But when you're up against those two, you know, if you put another poll out saying Jarrell Miller, Luis Ortiz, Dillian Whyte, and someone else, Dillian Whyte would cruise it. So we have to fight who is available, but more importantly, who is willing to step up, and we will see if Deontay Wilder is willing to step up.
I mean, how does Dillian feel about this in regards to if you can't get AJ and AJ Wilder fight, then he has to wait?
It's just how it is. It's how it is. When you've got one champion or two champions in a division, it's very difficult. The good news for Dillian Whyte is he's making an absolute fortune, and he will do again on December 22 if the Chisora fight comes up.
We've also seen Lawrence Okolie over Twitter responding to some of the criticism. What have you made of it all since then as well?
Look, if you want to, we live in a harsh world, right, where fans aren't going to hold back. It was a dreadful fight, right? But he's had 10 fights. He's won the WBA international title. He's won the Commonwealth title. And he's won the British fight title. He's beat Chamberlain, Askin, Watkins within 10 fights. He's got a lot to learn. Fans will not accept performances or entertainment like that. If you want to be a star, you can't fight like that, right? But you can't also just dismiss what he's achieved over that period of time. So I'm very proud of him, what he's achieved, but he knows he's got stuff to work on, and he's got to change his style up in certain situations, particularly on the inside, if he's going to go on and not just be a good fighter, but be a star name and someone that can fill arenas. Because at the moment, after that, he's going to be on an undercard somewhere, and there'll be loads of stick about performance, and he'll be under pressure to perform. But he is performing, and people also have to realise he's not the finished article. You know, AJ's not the finished article, but Lawrence is miles off the pace. But already what he's achieved is very impressive.
Well, a little carried away with the heavyweights. We've got that Anthony Crolla.
Yeah.
Is this make or break for Anthony now?
Yeah, it is. And you know, this is going to be a massive night for him at Manchester Arena. The atmosphere is going to be absolutely brilliant. He has to win. You know, it becomes mandatory to Vasyl Lomachenko, which of course is like just a very, very difficult fight. But Anthony wants to be in the big fights, and Yordan is a banana skin because he's got a great work rate, very, very tough, very talented, and yeah, it's a must-win fight for Crolla.